visiting an airplane model factory today. Here I'm seeing they're producing the next model, which is the Embraer A350. In the 90s, it was decal, and it was big roller wheels. It's amazing how far we came. And human hands doing better. It's the final products. Back at my local airplane store.
More realistic features like an opening nose cone. This is an Antonov 225. It's heavy!
We have this model, the 200 scale Antonov, as a giveaway to our viewers today.
呢個咧就係die-cast model 嘅開始啦。
呢個點樣做出嚟嘅？呢個機身？
呢個金屬機身咧，其實係通過一部叫 injection machine 啦，咁係由一啲固態嘅金屬片啦，去經過 injection machine 嘅 heater 去溶咗佢啦，然之後將溶咗嘅金屬推入模具入面，再冷卻而成。
So here I'm seeing the bare metal, the fuselage in the airplane. The wing's pretty sharp as well with the corners, and they need to be polished and all go into painting. So this is after polishing the 747 fuselage and became very, very smooth from the bare metal.
咁啱先你見到我哋機身打磨完畢啦，而家就到機翼嘅打磨啦。咁呢個係未打磨前嘅樣子啦。咁就呢個步驟係用人手去對一啲更加細緻嘅位置進行打磨啦。咁你會見到其實打磨完之後個對比其實都相對地明顯嘅。啱先噴完機身啦，而家依邊就開始準備噴機翼啦。啱先經過咗噴油同風乾嘅步驟之後啦，咁而家我哋就嚟到篩選嘅步驟，咁會將一啲有問題嘅件咧就篩選出嚟進行修復。呢個係唔用得嘅件啦，咁你會見到呢度多咗一個泡泡啦，我哋稱之為一啲塵點，英文就係 dust point 咁之類。咁呢個亦都係有一啲問題啦。咁正常係應該好似其他部分一樣咁平滑。咁而家我哋嚟到呢個pad printer 嘅前面啦。咁呢部機器咧，其實就係我哋用嚟將一啲圖案同埋顏色打印上去機身用嘅機器嚟嘅。咁呢部機器運作嘅原理咧，就係透過我哋喺電腦製造出嚟嘅菲林啦，將菲林嘅圖案轉移到去呢一塊鋼板上面，然之後再將油漆鋪平，將油漆打印上去飛機身同埋一啲機翼嘅上面。
我睇咗好耐啦，我唔知佢印緊啲咩啊，好似好細緻啊。
係啊，冇錯，咁好似 Embraer 呢一隻 A350咁啦，咁機身同埋機翼加埋嘅細節大概有100多個啦，咁個膠頭就需要打印落飛機大概100多次啦。
Took me a long time to figure out what the printer is doing because it's printing part by part on very tiny details. What it does is actually printing the door, the little handles, the door details on the A350, the rear doors. So here I'm seeing they're producing the next model, which is the Embraer A350. The real Embraer A350 hasn't delivered, but you might be able to get hold of one of these models first. Here we are at the discount corner, and there's a bucket of airplane models, but these are actually, I was told, they're defect. They have some painting issues or some chip off the paint. It's amazing. They make thousands of airplane models here every month, and how much QC work they have done and picked up the ones that didn't make it. When I started collecting model Herpa wings in the 90s, it was decal, and it was big roller wheels, and now using pad printer, right? Doing 100 and 200 rounds of printing to make it look so detailed. It's amazing how far we came. I really don't know what the ceiling will be, how much further we can go in technology.
咁我哋啱先喺印嘢嘅嗰一邊嘅工廠咧，咁完成咗之後咧，我哋而家就嚟到工廠嘅另一個部分啦。 咁呢一個部分咧就係裝配前最後嘅一部分啦。
So this part is where machine can't do, and human hands doing better. And what they're doing is to make this cheat line, let's say this Air Canada Dreamliner, to make the line even and get rid of all the stains and paint over and the correction. So this has to be very precise job done by manual hands. So here is the assembly room. After they painted all the parts of the aircraft, they put them together. So this is a really tedious job. What they're doing here is gluing these engines. And this one particular is the 787 engine, or the 747-8, the GEnx engine. So you can see the cookie cutters, you can see the pylon, and you can see the GE's logo. Very, very tedious job. So during my visit, the workers were able to show me how they assemble an A380 together. The work was all done manually by hand. It makes you really appreciate how much details were there to make just one airplane model. And here she is, the final products. They put all the gears together. They put two wings together, engines, and the tail fin, and the vertical stabilizer. And we have the Emirates A380 model. There are many advantages using VPN. Personally, I use Surfshark VPN to bypass internet censorship, to fund cheaper travel, and to secure my data. Internet censorship is a huge pain when you're traveling to another country where social media like Facebook, YouTube, and Google Mail is blocked. I use Surfshark VPN to hop to another country to bypass the internet restrictions. And even better, I use just one Surfshark VPN subscription to access multiple Netflix library. With the help of Surfshark VPN, I can also connect to another country to find cheaper air ticket, cheaper hotel, and cheaper rental car. Just like many frequent travelers, we often travel and use public Wi-Fi at a hotel or the airport. They're not secure. When I want to send sensitive information, I use Surfshark VPN to encrypt and secure my data. Now, here's the best deal for my viewer. Get Surfshark VPN at surfshark.com/Sam. Enter promo code SAM. You will get more than 80% off and 3 additional months subscription for free. This video is sponsored by Surfshark. Back at my local airplane store with Todd models.
Hey
Todd.
guys, how you doing?
He's one of the biggest collector in town.
Absolutely.
Today you're showing us your favorite collection.
I brought a few to show you and everyone who's watching today. All right, so first we have a series of 1 to 200 scale interactive models. A lot of folks have asked, could you make a model that has like more realistic features like an opening nose cone on a 747 or cargo doors that we can show the doors open? So this looks so realistic here. This is from GeminiJets. It's a 1 to 200 scale cargo luxe 747 freighter. Here's an MD-11, and I did a boo-boo, a no-no, Sam. You never touch your models with your bare hands. So look at this FedEx MD-11 here. You can see the cargo doors. This is a rather new product from GeminiJets, 1 to 200 scale interactive series. And over here,
you actually use the plastic strip to lift the model.
Yeah, that's why this is one reason it's in the box that you'll get when you get your airplane models, this plastic sheet, so you can hold your model and not get fingerprints on.
If you see the 747 is unique, it has the nose loading. And imagine the nose keep going up and down, up and down. It's like a big fat smile coming from the 747.
All right, Sam, what's the largest cargo aircraft in the world?
The largest?
Yeah.
It's not a 747.
No.
Oh, I knew what it is. It's the Antonov.
Yes, and check this one out
You have it here.
Yes, this is an Antonov 225, of course. Look at that baby.
Huge.
And it's heavy!
How heavy do you think this
is? With the box and everything that comes with it, about 6-7 pounds total. And I mean, you could take it off the stand, you can see all the landing gear is in place there. Rolling rubber tires on this, and the gear is removable, so you can display the model on the stand without the gear, and then just the gear doors. So that's how you put the stand back in. But This is one of the best-selling models that I know of for sure. Everyone seemingly has wanted one of these.
Now, it's kind of sad, right? We all knew what had happened to this airplane. The consolation prize here is courtesy of GeminiJets. We have this model, the 200 scale Antonov, as a giveaway to our viewers today.
So Sam, moving on to some of the weirdest shaped aircraft that I've ever seen. These are aircraft transport planes. The first one by Boeing, of course, the Dream Lifter here. And look at this one. This one not only has flaps down on the wings, but the tail opens and closes. So now this is the Airbus version of the transporter. Look at this. The Beluga has an interactive series nose on it. So you can display the nose in the up or the closed position. Just like it looks like a big fish, doesn't it? A big beluga. And once again, we're going to put the door.
You can play with it. You can have the door open.
Yeah.
In the open position like this.
Or you can display it.
Or you can actually close it up.
Close it and then back open. And woo! What's inside there? Or you can put out anything you want. You can hide stuff from your parents in there. I got a big thing for classic aircraft. And so first here, we have a Cathay Pacific Convair 880. And again, I'm using the plastic so that my fingers don't touch the polish on this thing.
Wow.
You can see the polished wings and you can see the polished belly on that.
And I'm looking at this one here. This one I picked up in the store here is a new release because last year I visited Buffalo Airways at the far north in Canada, and I actually saw how they start engine on these Lockheed Electra L188s, and it's amazing to hear the prop sound. So here you can actually, you know, turn the props and think about these yesteryear airliners.
I think I can hear it. All right, so moving on here, Sam, look at this Delta 727-200. This is one of the best-selling releases ever, and it's one of my favorite models. I love the Delta widget, so do a lot of other people, and this model has been sold out for years. It's very hard to find, but with this beauty from South America, this Varig MD-11, and this has a polished belly on it. I'm a freak lover for polish on model airplanes. This is one of my favorites, if not my all-time favorite release ever. This is from GeminiJets, Gemini 200. This is an American Airlines Boeing 747-100, excuse me. Another classic from the 1970s is this Air India Boeing 747, and this also features a polished belly. But this is a replica of Air India's very first 747.
I felt very privileged. Todd actually let me touch it.
I'm not letting you. You're doing it anyway.
Yeah, let me use this plastic, but I want to show how beautiful this model is. The Disney Sea, because I'm a big fan with 747 with special livery, and this is one of the probably the best.
All right, so back to the future we go, up to 2025. A few years away, and Emirates, their first 777X, 777-9X.
So this is all Todd's favorite model in a wrap. How many models do you have in your collection?
Oh, dude, I don't know. Thousands.
Thousands. Where's your house? I'm going to come to your house. Having too much fun today. So now I want to invite a lot of my viewers and followers to showcase their favorite airplane model collections. Let's take a look at theirs.
My name is Koulouthros. I am Greek, born in Venezuela. I'm a mechanical engineer as well. I have started as commercial pilot. I started my aviation career at 18 years old. My love for model collectioning started at 8 years old. My uncle, Greek, was working at Olympic Airways, and when I was 8 years old, he gave me 3 models. At 12 years old, I had 100 of them. At 15, I have 300, and so on and so on. The collection was moved to Panama on 2017, and from then I raised my collection to 4,000 models. Then I thought to make a small collection, like a private museum, based in Panama, with the 4,000 models in scale 1/400, 1/200, and 25 big models, which means the ones scale 150, 130, 120. But the centerpiece of the collection is a Embraer 195 in scale 1/3, 1/3, which was made by Atlantic Models. The most important model of my collection is a DC-10 scale 1/20, which I have, which is actually the first prototype model of DC-10 worldwide. That was owned by McDonnell Douglas, and I have on my collection 20 years ago.